What's up, guys? My name's Steve, aka Hulk Norris, and today I have a pretty cool and pretty simple Forge tutorial for you guys on computers/screens. And like I said, they're pretty easy to make, they're easy to reproduce, and you really don't have to worry about running into frame rate problems with them. Even though you can kind of see I have a pretty big frame rate problem going on right now, but that's not really to do with the computers, it's more of what's going on behind the scenes, which is a little project I'm working on. So you're kind of getting a sneak peek, but you'll see more of it at a later date. But I really needed some computers/screens for this project, and I didn't have any at my hand, where like in Halo 4 and some of the previous Halos, we had like the Dominion screens that had the animations and whatnot. Halo MCC really didn't have that, so I kind of had to go and think outside of the box and come up with some screens. So hopefully you guys find this video and tutorial helpful. So let's go ahead and dive right on into this. Like I said, they're not that hard to do, and they're pretty easy to reproduce. Oh, and one thing I do want to put out a little bit of a disclaimer. These screens, like this one and over, are picking up this weird little like orange glow to it, and it's all to do with this orange galaxy. It's coming through and it's picking it up on the glass windows. So unless you put it in the same spot, you're really not going to have that problem, and it's going to show up like your normal glass window, where it has this kind of cool little techie animation to it that comes out really nicely and works really well with all of these computers and screens. So unless you put it in the same spot, you're not really going to have that problem. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and dive right on into this. This is one of my more favorite ones, and it's pretty easy to make. All you do is grab yourself 2 barricade smalls, and what you want to do is you want to grab that barricade small and flip it upside down to the flat part. And a couple of these are made the same way because they give you a nice little table kind of thing. But then you want to grab yourself 2 console switches, and you also want to flip them upside down and face them outward, so like the L shape is facing towards the screen. And it works really nice. It gives you this kind of feel like the screen's being projected to the other one, and it just really looks clean. But the screen, all it is a glass window. And same with this one, it's pretty easy to make. All it is more of a flat screen. You take a glass window and then you make a box around it with your trim smalls, and it gives you that like flat screen kind of feel. This one's where we kind of step up and get some more stuff going on. I really like this one as well. All it is 2 barricade smalls put on its side and facing inward. And then you want to grab yourself, same thing, another glass window. And then same thing as the last flat screen, it's made like outlined with your trim smalls. And then you want to grab yourself 3 Canyonman UNSCs and flip them upside down. And I really like the look of it because it kind of gives you like an air vent, like it's being like cooled off some sort. And I really like that, and so it's used on a couple of them. This next one is kind of like a futuristic projected computer screen, like one of those touch screens you see in a lot of movies. And all it is it's made out of 2 switches flipped on its side and then pushed inward, so the triangles are like touching, and then it gives you kind of like a spherical shape instead of the 2 triangles. And then you want to take these glass windows and the switches and kind of line it up. You got that line, you want to kind of line it up where that line is like exactly at the bottom of it, because it gives it a really nice like glow on the glass and definitely makes it look like it's being projected up as one giant whole screen. And it just really comes together nicely, and I just like how these ones really look. This next one's another one of my favorites. All it is you want to go and you want to grab 2 glass screens, and then you want to grab 2 of these doors, and basically you want to take your first door and submerge it into you got those slants on the side. You want to submerge it into where those slants are just touching, and then you want to grab yourself another one of those glass doors and set it down into it, and you can kind of put it how you feels right on your map. You can really mess with the dimensions and play with it. And then same thing, we got another Canyonman UNSC, but this one's now on its side and it's facing inward. And if you set these upright, it kind of works purely as an aesthetic piece. It doesn't have that Canyonman kind of push to it anymore, and it won't push your players around. It just works really nice and gives you kind of like a cooling vent, and I really like it. And then this next one's kind of like the big daddy of the computers. Basically what you want to do is take 2 doors, you want to take one and face it down, and then take another one and flip it upside down and phase it into the top one. And then your screen is the same thing like the rest of them, the glass windows. And then you want to take 2 of the UNSC Canyon Mins again and face it down, and then you want to take 4 or more and line them up at the top and phase them into the door. And it's kind of going to work as like the base of your cooling system. The next piece you're going to want to grab is a door and put it on its side and phase it into the ceiling of your structure and kind of pull it down a little bit so it kind of looks like a ventilation system. And then you want to line the bottom with a trim medium. And like I said, it kind of gives it a look like the cooling system's being recirculated, and it gives it more of that computer feel to it. And I just really like this one. It takes up a little bit more pieces, but I really like how it looks. This next one's another pretty easy one to make, and it has something different than the other ones, and I really like this little feature to it. But basically what you want to do is grab yourself 2 covers and put them on their side facing each other and kind of like phase the tops into each other so they're kind of like that little white strips kind of the same on each of them. And then the next thing you want to do is make another flat screen kind of like the one over there, but it's a little bit different. You want to take your glass window, and then now you want to use 3 trim mediums and line out the outline of your screen. And then you want to grab 2 of these Canyon Mins and put it on its side and phase it about midway down into it, and then just kind of phase it into the computer a little bit, and it gives it almost like a hardware kind of feel to it. And then the center is just 2 glass windows phased together nicely, and it just comes together well. This next one is kind of like that other projected style screen that I showed earlier, but it's a little bit different. Now you want to take 3 of these switches and line it up on the edges of your glass window. And like I said earlier, you want to make sure that line that's being projected off of your switch is lined up with the edge of the glass window, and it just comes together nicely and gives you that projected feel. And then this last one is my all-time favorite. I really like how this comes together. But what you want to do is you want to take 2 glass windows and put it on an angle, and then it kind of phase it together nicely. And then you want to take 2 trim smalls and phase it into the window on the edges where the window kind of disappears on the edge, but you have that weird like white ambient light in the center, and it just really looks really nice. And then the same thing as the other tables, you want to take 3 of your barricades now and flip it upside down and build your table out. And then same thing as those vents on the other one, you're just using the UNSC Canyon Mins and flipping it downward so it won't push anyone off of it. And then you want to take 3 more of them on this one and kind of flip it upside down and point it towards it. And it kind of just makes it look like the wind and air off of that Canyon Man is being recirculated into the computer as like a cooling system. And I really like that. And then on this one as well, we're using the Canyon Mins again from the other computer to give it more of like a hardware and a bulky feel to it. And then that's it. That's just a pretty simple layout for you guys. There's lots of different variants and ways that you can run these computers and screens. And I didn't want to put a bunch of different things to all of them so it'd just be more stuff. I wanted to leave a little bit of the creativity freely to you guys. Like for this one, for example, you can grab a trim small and line the top of it and like complete the screen. But for this one, I really don't like it. I like the cut edge because it gives it that projected feel compared to like a solid screen. But like I said, there's just many different ways you can run these, and it's however you guys wanted to do it. I just wanted to give you a brief little tutorial on it. But that's about it for us today, guys. If you enjoyed the video and found the tutorial helpful, definitely make sure you Hulk smash that like and subscribe button and let me know. If you want to watch all the epicness go down in real time, you can head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/XX Hulk Norris XX. But till next time, keep it real, keep it classy, and make sure you guys are having fun.